What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money, saving money, building generational wealth, and financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everyone, I give you a six-figure MBA level with investing in financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And the things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars learning in grad school and in business school, I give it to you for free here on Financipation. And as a person who has an MBA and who has essentially helped people with their finances for over 20 years, I feel very comfortable telling you that. Before I get started, I also want to give a shout out to Killer Solutions. They're one of my sponsors. If you need digital marketing, website development, or someone to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they're the best in the business at meeting all of your digital needs. And please hit that notification bell as well, okay? So I got a message from one of my subscribers I thought was pretty dope, and I actually want to read it to you guys, and I want to answer his question. So here we go. Hello, Chris. My name is Ryan. I'm a 17-year-old high school junior, and I watch your podcast every Sunday. I love it as they don't teach financial literacy in school, and I love learning about all this stuff on your channel because you make it sound easy and simple. I live in a very small rural city in southwestern West Virginia near the Kentucky border, and my mother's a single parent. We all live on a farm. My family has literally always been poor. All of my cousins, aunts, and uncles and family members are poor, and we have been on food stamps and government assistance for as long as I can remember, and I want to break the curse. What are some signs, Chris, that you notice of wealthy people later in life? Because I want to start doing that stuff today so that when I retire, I'm not poor like the rest of my family. Wow. Wow. Well, first off, Ryan, I want to say thank you for actually watching my content every week. And I wish that when I was 17, there was something that existed like what I'm trying to put out here today, because I think it would help you. And more importantly, Ryan, too, the fact that you're 17 saying this kind of stuff and asking these kind of questions, it's pretty inspiring, I would say. You want to be the one to break the generational curse. That's a beautiful thing, Ryan, because at the end of the day in America, this is one of the greatest countries in the world to do that. OK, so let's get started. The first sign, Ryan, that I've noticed that a person is going to retire wealthy is that they take education seriously and they never stop learning. There's an unfortunate narrative that's being peddled around today by YouTubers, by rappers, and by TikTokers, and also by fake financial gurus like Robert Kiyosaki, who kind of push this narrative that school and getting a good education is not very important. And Ryan, I want to tell you straight up, ignore these people, because 90% of America's millionaires went to either college or they went to trade school. So in order to learn a trade, you have to be very educated. In order to get a college degree, particularly if it's in science, technology, engineering, or math, you have to be very educated. And I don't care whether, once again, whether it's blue collar or white collar, one of the surest signs that I found is that people who want to retire wealthy, they take their education seriously and they never stop learning. So it doesn't matter whether if you join the military or become an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, you become an electrician, a plumber, or a carpenter. Take education seriously. Get the kind of certifications that essentially are going to pay you the most money possible. And regardless of the route that you go, you have to essentially take your school seriously. And one surefire sign that I found in a person, Ryan, is going to retire wealthy is that they take their education seriously. And more importantly, they never stop learning. Next, the next sign a person is going to retire wealthy is that they secure a six-figure high income skill. So this kind of piggybacks off of the first thing I talked about earlier in regards to taking school seriously. I'm not saying that is right, everyone, but in America, lawyers, doctors, and garbage men make more than teachers. In the military, officers with college degrees make more money than non-commissioned officers and regular enlisted guys that don't have a college degree. And one surefire sign that you're going to retire wealthy is that you have a skill set that essentially pays you in the six figures. So for instance, by trade, I'm a mechanical engineer. If my current employer leased me out to another engineering firm, they could literally charge roughly $300 an hour for what I do for a living. And the reason why is because it's very challenging to find a person who has my skill set. I essentially build billion-dollar facilities, data centers, high-end commercial buildings, things of that nature, for very aggressive clients who want their products when they want them. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, things of that nature. And because I have 20 years of experience and I have the educational pedigree and the credentials to be able to build these buildings and to be able to know the code references that allow you to build them on time and ahead of schedule, it makes me very lucrative. So as a result, if I worked at McDonald's and I flipped burgers, they could charge basically $8 an hour for my services. And the reason why is simple. You can find a coked out meth head on the street who can essentially flip a burger at McDonald's. But when it comes to actually building the type of products that I build in my mechanical engineering skill set, it's very hard to find it. So as a result, they can charge significantly more. And it's much easier to build generational wealth and to financially emancipate yourself from poverty if you start businesses and if you have a skill set that very few people can find. Next. The next sign a person is going to retire wealthy is that they get used to practicing delayed gratification and they don't get a lot of credit card debt. This might be one of the most important things on this list, and it's one of the main reasons why I see credit card debt is literally killing my generation, millennials and Gen Zers' ability to build generational wealth. Credit card debt. By and large, everyone, we live in a microwave society, and the idea of waiting for something to happen, whether it's with women, whether it's with your house, whether it's buying cars, starting businesses, is kind of non-existent. People want everything now. They'd much rather basically purchase a $50,000 car on a 72-month loan instead of actually purchasing that car cash. We would much rather, unfortunately, live in a society where people would drop $10,000 on a credit card for a vacation instead of basically saving a year and a half to go on that vacation and not put one dime on a credit card. By and large, everyone, buying things that we can't afford to impress people who we don't even know, who would never like us, is one of the dumbest things that we do in our society today. And in my opinion, credit card debt, to a large extent, is one of the cardinal sins and one of the main things stopping you from building generational wealth. Why? Because the average credit card in 2024 today charges you roughly 22% interest if you pay it late, and the average bank only pays you 0.02% interest for using their bank statements and for using that bank. In other words, banks charge you literally almost 1,100 times more if you pay them late. It is literally practically impossible to financially emancipate yourself from poverty and to build generational wealth if you keep a lot of credit card debt. So Ryan, my advice is to avoid credit card debt. And because the average American owes roughly $8,000 of credit card debt and they don't pay it off, think how much money they are losing over the long haul. So one surefire sign that a person is going to retire wealthy is that they have very little credit card debt and they have very little home, automobile, or any kind of debt in general. Next, the next sign a person is going to retire wealthy is that they surround themselves with good people. There's a scripture in the Bible that says iron sharpens iron, and the meaning behind that is that a good man surrounds himself with better men who will eventually make him a better man over time. And if religion, Ryan, is not your thing, then study after study shows that you are literally the sum total of the 9 people you spend the most time with. So if you're with 9 meth heads, Ryan, who aren't going anywhere, you're going to be the 10th meth head who's not going anywhere. From my experience, Ryan, mentors are to some extent the closest thing that we as humans have as time machines, because if you hang out with the right kind of people who can advise you on who to date, if you hang out with the right kind of people who can advise you on how to invest, if you hang out with the right kind of people on what kind of business to start, what kind of education to get, it can literally cut out years or decades of frustration and essentially failures as far as what you choose to do with your life. So surround yourself with good people, with good men, with good women who are mentors to you. Another surefire sign that a person is going to retire wealthy is that they surround themselves, once again, Ryan, with good mentors that are smarter than them, that are more successful than them, and they do that for their entire lives, okay? So this is the notification bell so you know when I drop new content. Please hit that like button. Please share the video. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Helps the algorithm, and I thoroughly enjoy giving you guys free content. Next, the next sign a person is going to retire wealthy is that they took the time to understand how money actually works and they become financially literate. People, America is the greatest country in the world when it comes to building generational wealth. Simple as that. And if you take a look at the number of millionaires in our country, over 22 million, and the percentage of Americans that are millionaires versus the ones that are not, we literally have the highest percentage of millionaires in the world when it comes to a country that's over 50 million people. Unfortunately, however, financial literacy is not taught in the public school systems. That's by design. And in my opinion, I would say roughly 90% of the information that you see today on TikTok, Facebook, and IG, at least when it comes to finance, is absolute pure garbage. So people, you should be educating yourself on how to legally lower your taxes and how to financially emancipate yourself from poverty. You should be educating yourself on the best systems in place that teach you individually how to create a real estate portfolio that works for you. People, you should be reading books like The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by Jack Bogle, because it teaches you how to understand how to invest into the stock market. And people, you should be reading books like Scholarships, The Golden Road to Free Money, so you can learn how to essentially graduate from college for free. So Ryan, if you want to go to college, bro, if that's kind of the route you want to go, my advice is read that book, all right? People, you should be reading books like Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, so you can learn essentially how to become mentally tough when bad things in life happen to you, and they're going to happen to you. Because at the end of the day, Ryan, I think you're starting to realize this. No one is coming to save you. Yeah, at this moment, you may be getting food stamps, your family on the farm may be getting government subsidies and things of that nature, but eventually that system is going to collapse. And I like the idea, I like the fact, Ryan, that you are trying to figure out a way to get off of the system that has kept your family essentially in poverty for decades, okay? And for generations. And once again, because financial literacy is not taught in schools, everyone, you should be investing and seeking out knowledge about index funds, ETFs, Roth IRAs, the importance of wills, and how to create an LLC. And the best part about it is that honestly, everyone, if you have literally no idea what I'm talking about, you're in the right place, as I have over 100 videos online here on Financipation, where I teach you for free about all this stuff. The stuff that I had to pay $100,000 learning in grad school, I give a large percentage of that for free out here online, okay? So another surefire sign that a person is going to retire wealthy is that they educate themselves on all things finance and they become financially literate in all areas and they find a system that works for them. Next, the next sign a person is going to retire wealthy is that they invest their money early and often and they utilize the power of compound interest. So if you follow this channel, everyone, you are familiar with what I call the 3 pillars. And people that understand the power of compounding interest, they understand that it is literally the universe's cheat code to dying wealthy. At the time of this recording in 2024, you're going to invest approximately $23,000 into your 401k. At the time of this recording in 2024, you can invest approximately $7,000 into your Roth IRA. At the time of this recording, everyone, you can invest approximately $4,150, Ryan, into your HSA if you're single, and you can invest approximately $8,300 into your HSA if you're married. I personally prefer the Fidelity brokerage account because I believe it's the most user-friendly one, and my wife and I are huge proponents of passively managed low-cost index funds, ETFs, and the S&P 500. Basically, people, it's like this. The longer you invest into the stock market, the greater the chance you have for retiring wealthy. For example, if a person invests $50 a month from ages 1 to 65 at 12%, that will net them approximately $7.5 million. Now do another example. Investing $5,000 a month from ages 50 to 65 or for 15 years at 12% interest will only net you about $2.5 million, literally 3 times less, even though you invest 100 times more for 15 years. So everyone, I use that analogy to show you this. The earlier you start investing, the better. And another surefire sign that a person is going to retire wealthy is that they invest early, they invest often, they make the right investments, and they understand the unfathomable power of compound interest. Next, the next sign a person is going to retire wealthy is that they raise their kids to be independent and they don't support lazy, adult, useless children. I'm going to make an entire separate podcast on this topic because it's something that I saw my entire life with certain individuals that I saw growing up around me. And it breaks my heart because nothing is sadder than seeing a great elderly person that's charismatic, that everyone loves, that worked hard their entire life, that dies penniless and broke because they spent their entire life, they spent decades supporting a lazy, useless child that never wanted to get a job or leave the house. And I'm not talking about children with mental or physical handicaps either. I'm talking about fully functioning adults that spent literally 40 or 50 years bumming off of mama and daddy and essentially never wanting to work or become a productive member of society. And as a result of seeing this, I can't tell you how many countless older, elderly people I know who unfortunately died penniless and broke supporting adult children that never wanted to essentially become productive members of society. And what's even sad is that usually these are the type of family members that essentially move back into their parents' home around their early 20s or their 30s, or they just never leave the house to begin with. And they essentially spend their entire lives mooching off of their parents and mooching off of their brothers and their sisters. God blesses you, everyone, with about 18 years in America to create a fully functioning adult, male or female. And if you spend your 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s of your life trying to support a grown child or a grown man or woman that is too lazy to get a career, I hate to say it, but you are most likely going to die broke. The last sign that a person is going to retire wealthy is that they marry the right person. So if you follow my channel, Ryan, you are aware that I'm pro-family, I'm pro-finance, and I'm pro-generational wealth. And fellas, the divorce laws in the Western world are flat out not in your favor. And if you marry a low-value woman, you are most likely going to lose around 50 to 60% of your income that you spent your entire life working for in alimony and child support checks. And your reputation will be in shambles. If you don't believe me, look no further than actors Will Smith and Kevin Costner. But if used correctly, I truly believe that marriage is the ultimate wealth cheat code, and it has been for literally centuries. And more importantly, a strong 2-parent nuclear household is the building block of every community. It's not a coincidence, everyone, that the wealthiest groups in America are the most married. And it's also not a coincidence that the poorest groups in America are the least married. Look no further, once again, than the trailer parks of the projects. Why? Because take a look at the percentages of single baby mamas and single parents in those environments and compare them to, say, like $1 million homes, which overwhelmingly are full of 2-parent nuclear households. The numbers are very clear. Marriage, everybody, is the greatest building block to destroy systemic poverty. And if you don't believe me, look at the numbers. A 2022 study that was done by Fortune magazine shows that married people on average have 35 times more wealth than people who are single. And from a generational standpoint perspective, studies also show that children who grow up in two-parent nuclear families are 4 times more likely to go from poverty into the middle class. Whereas those same studies show that children that grow up in single-parent households, particularly single mother households for what it's worth, are 4 times more likely to go from the middle class into poverty. And it's not a religious statement, everyone, or a political statement, everyone, about what I'm saying, but the numbers show the best starting point for any child to build generational wealth is to grow up in a household with 2 working parents that love them. Like I said, everyone, you don't have to rush it. And in my opinion, you shouldn't rush it. I mean, I got married at 35 for a reason, but marriage truly is the ultimate wealth cheat code in capitalism. And a surefire sign, everyone, that a person is going to retire wealthy is that they stay married, they get married, and they don't divorce. And they grow old with the right person. So that, in closing, Ryan, hopefully this kind of sheds a little bit of light in regards to signs that I personally have seen about people who retire wealthy, okay? The thing about it, you said you grew up in an environment where everybody around you is poor. Joining the military and possibly getting out of where you your environment may not be a bad idea. If you want to stay home, it's cool as well. But my advice is, regardless of the road that you want to go down, take a listen to the things I talk about on this particular podcast and do a lot of them, okay? Because at the end of the day, if you do that, the chances of you retiring wealthy and getting out of the environment, and most importantly, breaking that generational curse of poverty, are a lot higher, okay? This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth, and it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me at any point. The link is below. I'm not giving you financial advice on this channel. You just make your responsible decisions based on the thorough independent research that you do for yourself, okay? And thanks for listening, everyone. Also, please follow me on our website, www.therealfinancipation.com, or Instagram, @thereal_financipation. Please check me out on Spotify, Financipation, TikTok, Financipation, and my Facebook page as well is also Financipation, okay? And check out my financial blog as well, Financipation. Lastly, check out some of my digital e-products below as well, as I go into a lot more detail about scholarships, Roth IRA conversions, HSA accounts, real estate investment trusts, ETFs, and things of that nature, okay? Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe, helps the algorithm. And so that way you know when I drop new content. And thanks, Colorful Solutions, for all these dope graphics. It's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace.